I think the one thing people forget too, like when you talk about the general consumer base, is like we're all aware, and I blame WRX for this because the forums are full of it. You don't like the goal of your life is not to hit the lowest spin thing you can find. I don't know when that became a thing. It's been like that for a decade, probably more. But that I wish we could find a way to get rid of that. The thing that people don't remember enough is like the ping. I think it's ping, like the ultimate launch chart, that big color coded thing. At any speed, the furthest you can hit a driver is 1717. People don't understand how high 17 degrees of
Yeah,
launch is.
17's like that.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, they're like, I hit it at 1217. I'm like, yeah, you're screwed. Like,
Right.
that's not going to work for you. And
But that
so,
used to
like,
be
when people bring it down,
to be fair, because that's back when, like, if I go back in memory, because again, like, you know, still to this day I go into the forums and read stuff, and granted, it's like anything else. Like there's bullshit no matter what where you're reading. Like there's, I mean, I'm sure some of the stuff that I've said, people are like, that guy's full of shit. Like, do I think I'm full of shit? No, but you know, they might, whatever. But that was kind of like, to be fair, back in the late 2000s, 2012, 13, 14, to be honest, like, you know, sub 2000 spin on a driver was like a thing, right? Like that, everybody was trying. That's why Sub Zero, for example, is Sub Zero. It's like, this is the
SLDR locked up, baby. Yeah.
right. Like that was the thing. And I remember going back to those days, like the amount of people going into the forums and talking about their experience about how far they were hitting the golf ball was visceral. Like all of us, like, you know, because I was
Yeah.
right with him hand in hand. Like we were just like, I just got an SLDR, dude, and I just, you
Woo.
know, I remember number 12 at Rainier at Seattle is like a 328-yard par four around this corner, right? And I've hit some fucking nuke burgers on that, but I've never carried the right trees and landed it in the middle of the green ever. Maybe because I didn't hit the perfect drive, but I got that SLDR, and I again read it in the WRX forum. The guy's like, you got to tee it high and hit up on it. So I'm like, okay, here we go. And I did it. And I just hit this absolute tomahawk. And it's probably 15 yards further than I've ever carried anything in my life. And I remember going back into the forums and going, oh my God, I just did it. Like I'm 30 yards longer and blah, blah, blah. So I think, and a lot of the guys that are in that forum are kind of my age. I think some of the we still want to figure out a way to hit it far DNA is still on a lot of you know, and I have the benefit of being on tour trucks, and so do you. Like you've been on enough tour trucks, you've talked to enough people, but like if I'm going to be fair to that crew, if I had not started working in the golf industry and I was still in the forums like I was, like actively, dude, I'd still be looking for 13 launch at fucking 1100 spin, like trying to, because it was a blast. Like it was so much fun back in the day. Anyway, I
Think
digress.
about that though, right? Like you got out on course and you tried to hit this shot, and what's the first thing that you did? You put it on your front foot, you teed it up a little bit higher, you dropped your back shoulder. So that like your launch was never at 13. It was at fucking nuclear, right? Like
Yeah,
you
but it was
you
like,
had to hit 16,
but
17. Like
my point to that whole
crazy.
story is there is community in the ridiculousness of gear. Like so
It's the
like
same. It's the same thing with TX, dude. Yeah,
huh?
same thing with TX shafts. 100%.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're
Like
bonded. Yeah.